Hey, how's it going, guys? AirmanRed here, and I am currently driving up 45 minutes away to assist my recruiter to talk to some middle schoolers about the Air Force. So I'm going to middle school, going to speak with them for the day. But I figure while I was making this nice long drive, I'd make a small video. So I kind of want to talk to you guys about my previous choice on what I was going to choose before the Air Force in terms of military. And that was actually the Army. One thing I did not mention in my last video was in the choice between college and Air Force, I actually had an initial choice that was not the Air Force, and it was the Army. So in that choice, I ended up going as far as meeting with like 3 different recruiters. I think there was a station change between the first one and then the last 2 were actually they kind of tag team. They came together, and I knew them previously because I went to the JROTC in my city here, and they always do recruiting down there and stuff. So I met with them, and I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I actually wanted to do in the Air Force. I actually wanted to do something more infantry focused. I wanted to do that ever since I was like 6 years old. I wanted to, travel halfway across the world and kick in doors for a living. But, I kind of found my calling there with the Army. And so I was talking to them about, doing the minimum enlistment that I could possibly actually end up doing. I think there was like 3 years. And I was kind of talking to them about different jobs. I was looking at combat engineer. I was looking at just straight infantry. I was looking at other combatant support jobs. And, I ended up looking into the Air Force during my choice. I went up to the next town over because we don't actually have Air Force recruiting in our city. So I went over there and spoke to the Air Force recruiter later because the initial time that I went, he wasn't there. So I ended up speaking to the Air Force recruiter later. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to make sure I knew all my options. I already ruled out the Navy and the Marines and the Guard. So the reason I spoke to him later was because he wasn't actually there for the first time, and the Army was. So I saw one of the old recruiters that I used to talk to when I was at the military academy in my city, and he was there, and he said, "Well, why don't you come on, step on in here?" And so I sat down, just chatted with them a little bit, and sat down with somebody who was an MP and actually on recruiting duty. And so he kind of spoke to me a little bit about his experience in the Army and what his experience was. Fantastic recruiter, absolutely loved the guy. Couldn't thank him enough for the kind of knowledge he gave me in terms of doing college while you're in the military. But I ended up, after that, kind of making the choice to move over to the Air Force solely because I wanted something not only a little bit more civilian applicable, but something with a little bit more of a technology-focused atmosphere and education-focused atmosphere. And I know the Air Force definitely does have that, because I believe the Air Force has the biggest community college in the nation, which is Community College of the Air Force. So that's something I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of when I'm in. And that was perfect for me. I mean, I knew I wanted to get my education, because you see a lot of people who do 10 plus years in the military, and they get out and they can't find a job anywhere, and it's sad. It is sad. I believe that they deserve better than that, but they don't actually do any self-enriching when they're in the military, and they don't go through any certification classes. They don't work their way to get any degrees. And when they get out, all they have is basically that military experience, and that professionalism that employers see can only get you so far in terms of high-profile jobs, and meaning that there is very few high-profile jobs you can get with just military experience, unless you have military experience in that field specifically. But when you're in infantry and you're combat engineering, you're other things like that, there is very, very, very few, if any, civilian applicable careers and jobs you can actually get into with combat experience. I mean, you could as a police officer, but you still need law degrees to be able to go into that field. So I wanted to go to the Air Force because They're very education focused. They're very technology focused. And I actually ended up speaking to somebody who was in the Air Force for, I think, 7 years and was in the Army for a lot more. I think it was 10 years plus. He ended up getting discharged because he was Special Forces, ended up breaking his neck, so now he works with my father, so I spoke to him a little bit about it. And he said he loved the Air Force a lot better because of the atmosphere. Because of what I wanted, the atmosphere of the Air Force and what the Air Force had to offer was a lot better. And when I talked to the MP guy, recruiter, when I was supposed to be talking to the Air Force recruiter and he wasn't there, he said, it all depends on what you want in a military branch. He said the Army is more military-like. You know, you're going to be getting up early in the morning doing PT. You're going to be doing a lot more formations, marching, all that kind of stuff. You're going to be doing a lot more, you know, kind of things you think of when you think of the military. You're going to be doing a lot more of those kinds of things. It's going to be a lot more regimented. It's going to be, you know, not as amenity-focused. You're not going to have those amazing dorm rooms you're going to be staying in, such as you tend to find with the Air Force on more of their nicer bases. And that calls to a lot of people. That kind of atmosphere, that kind of rigorous kind of setting definitely calls to a lot of people. And I know a lot of people, a lot of my good friends that are in there, and they kick its ass. They do so well in it, and I definitely applaud them. But the Air Force is a little bit more of my calling, and that's definitely what I want to encourage you guys to do. Is if you're looking into different branches, talk to people who have been in those branches. Talk to them about the lifestyle. Talk to them about the benefits. What kind of benefits do you hope to get out of the military, and why do you want to serve in the military? That definitely was why I wanted to join the Air Force, was because of that education, that structure, that daily life, the atmosphere. So anyways, make sure, I'm not exactly here to try to sell you on the Air Force. I'm not here to try to sell you on anything. What I try to tell people is make sure you know why. I get a lot of people that come to me when I ask them, well, hey, so what branch are you looking at joining? And they're like, oh, the Navy. I'm like, okay, well, why are you doing that? And they say, oh, I don't know. I believe I talked about that in my last video, but if you're going to be signing away a couple years of your life for military service, why are you going to base it off of I don't know, or somebody else told me, or I have done no research and I'm just doing this because it's the most popular opinion right now? That's not really right. You're going to really regret that decision the day you really get shipped off from MEPS. You really will, because you're not going to know what you're getting into at all. So I definitely recommend that with whatever military branch that you choose, definitely know what you're getting to, know what you're looking for, and try to match it up with what you want to do in your future, because the military also likes to pride a lot of what you do on building up your future. And I definitely recommend looking into getting certifications while you're in for your job if you want to go into that field afterwards. And, you know, check out the education benefits that they have. If you don't already have a degree or you're looking to get one, the military is a fantastic way to get a cost-free degree. It is amazing. The benefits are completely there. So I definitely encourage you guys to check that out if you guys are looking between branches, or you're considering the Air Force, or you're considering another branch. Definitely look at what it has to offer and match it up, and there's really no way you can go wrong. It's kind of a quick video I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I know it's pretty short, but yeah, so catch you guys next time. If you like it, like the video, leave a like, subscribe if you want to, and definitely let me know the content that I'm putting out, what you guys think of it, what you guys want to see. If you guys got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to interact with you guys. So yeah, see you next video. Thanks.